and welcome back to another video. So that was kind of a meme introduction since there's been some issues, let's say lightly, with Forge World as they've increased their prices to basically everyone abroad. Europe, Canada, the US, Australia, New Zealand. There's been massive price hikes. And a lot of people are upset, and rightly so. They should be upset because I think what has happened, what Forge World have implemented, is a complete disaster. From my standpoint, I think this could hurt Forge World more than it will benefit them, because a lot of feedback I'm seeing from people are just walking away from Forge World now. So let's jump in. Let's discuss it. We can go over it a bit more, look at some of the prices and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully I can get your feedback on the matter as well and see what you think about what Forge World has done. So let's just jump in and let's get to it. Now, all this was announced on an article over on the Warhammer community website. I'm briefly just going to read from it. I'll have it in the background as well so you can see what I'm reading and everything like that. But this article basically just sums up that, well, the title is Faster Shipping, Better Service Today. And one of the good things, actually, there is something good from all this, is that they are improving the shipping method. So if you order before 1 p.m. In the UK, it's more or less same-day shipping, they're saying. So that's pretty good if you live in the UK, of course. If you're from the broad, like from the EU, Canada, or US, stuff like that, then of course it's going to take more time. But if you're from the UK, they're saying that they can get it out within the day if you order before a certain time. But the people are not concerned about shipping at all, and rightly so. They're concerned about prices because Forge World has upped prices. They're doing it now at your local currency. And in the article, it actually says it here. It says pricing in local currency, meanwhile, means you can easily work out how much anything costs without mucking about with a currency converter, as well as not having to worry about conversion fees for banks abroad. But the problem is that the markup has skyrocketed. Like there's some stats, like people are still doing the math and stuff, but some of the math sums I'm seeing is like an increase of like 20 to 30% in some of the products, which is absolutely outrageous. When if you come to sit down, like some of the biggest increases are basically in Australia and New Zealand. Like Australia is already dear to buy stuff because it's in the middle of bloody nowhere. It's an island. Australia is a place where it costs a lot, and of course Forge World was always at the top scale when it comes to hobbyists down in Australia. But now with this price uptake, it's basically killed Forge World in Australia. I've been speaking to some Australian friends of mine who are really into the hobby. Some of them are saying that they can no longer spend that kind of cash on the hobby. Some of these guys are really big Horus Heresy people, and they're saying to me, like, the Horus Heresy now is dead to them over there. And this can lead to a bit of a crisis, which I think, and that is recasting. Now, recasting is already a little bit of a thorn in the side, I say, for GW and Forge World at the moment. I don't think it's that big of an issue, but what I personally think this is going to lead to now is that a lot of people are just going to ignore Forge World, and they're going to just start going to the recasters because they're doing the products at a decent and fair price. And what obviously that leads to then is that once someone becomes comfortable with buying from a place, aka a recaster, then they'll probably go there for all their intended products. So the whole business as a whole is probably going to suffer more of a financial burden than it's gonna, make in like positive profits and stuff like that. And what this is going to do is uptake the increase of people just going to casters, and they're just going to be going there. They're going to be getting all the stuff there, and then we as hobbyists will probably feel the bad side to that because Forge World probably won't start investing much in new models and stuff like that. Well, that's what could happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what could happen since everyone's going to the casters, and the casters are making all the profit, not actually Forge World who are actually making the models. So it can be like a double-bladed sword, this. But in a way, like I don't really agree with casting and stuff like that. I'll say that now. But what other choice do these people have when you have these kind of prices, which are pricing people out the market. You can make the argument, well, they shouldn't be buying it, but I think that's a shitty argument. I think pricing someone out of something that they love, which they've had money to spend on in the past, but it's going up to extraordinary prices, is just a crappy situation for that person who really wants to get involved in the hobby. So his or her only outcome then is to go to these recasters to be able to play the game that they love so much. So for the actual pricing and the increases and stuff like that, this is what they're basically doing. Now this is just an example just of one model. I picked the most glorious model, Rogul Dawn. Well, I didn't pick, I actually saw this online and I thought this would make a good point. So this is Rogul Dawn. So Rogul Dawn, the Forge World pound price is 75 British pound. Convert that 75 pound to the Australian dollar at the moment, equals 131 50 cents Australian currency. Now, what they've marked it up on the Forge World website is 180. So that is a 27% increase of the price of that model in over a day. That it's gone up 27%, and that's just one example of one model. This has gone through every model on the board, like something like the Thunderhawks and stuff like that. They've jumped to incredible prices. They've gone up like nearly $200. Some of them, it's absolutely insane of what they're doing. I know people have been arguing, saying, yeah, it's business, this is what businesses do. But at the end of the day, do business want to lose a massive amount of customers? Because this is what they're got to do. I know you have to earn profit. That is a part of being a business. But there is a certain mark where you don't want to scare away the customers or your fan base in buying your products, and increasing something. Just for example, Rogul Dawn up by 27% in just one day, I find completely ridiculous, and it's definitely uncalled for. I think Forge World should rethink this, but at the end of the day, Forge World are a multi-million-pound business, just as Games Workshop are. They've got people at the top who do this for a living, like market and stuff like that. Maybe this is Brexit related, all that kind of stuff, and they're preparing for some kind of hit financial wise. Maybe it's completely something else. They've obviously researched this and they've done this for a certain reason. I would love to know what their reason is behind this. They're saying on the website that it's all about, oh, you won't get confused with your currency and not charged with your card and stuff. At these prices, I bloody rather will get charged by my card and do the currency stuff, because I think it would come out a lot cheaper. Now, the reaction from this, from the majority of the fans, they're not happy, rightly so. Like I said at the start of the video, I'm not happy about it. I don't really buy that much from Forge World. Like my last big order from Forge World was the Astrea Super Heavy Tank, since it was Primaris stuff, and you know how I love Primaris. But I don't really buy that much stuff from Primaris. I was actually thinking of buying a bit more Custody stuff, but with this recent direction they're going at, I really don't want to give them my money, because it doesn't really sit right with me what they've done to you chaps outside of the UK. I know there's like memes around. I posted some memes and stuff, having some banter and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that's banter. This is a serious conversation, and I really do think that Forge World have done wrong here. I don't think they're going to go back on it. I know there's like petitions out at the moment that people have put out. I think it's near reached like 2,000 signatures and stuff now. But I really don't think that's going to make a difference to Forge World at all. They've researched this for probably a long time, and this is what they decided to do, and I think they're going to stay on this course. The only real way I would think to change this is that people have to start speaking with their wallets. We as consumers now have to talk to them in the only language that they understand, and that is money. And if you stop buying their products, if you're from the outside of the UK, then that is the only language they're going to understand. And if they start noticing orders just disappearing, people not buying orders, then maybe, just maybe, they may rethink the strategy, and maybe they can start lowering the prices so you chaps can start getting stuff at a lower rate. Alright chaps, that's me done for another video. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You've probably read it by now anyway. I just wanted to make my my opinion known on the matter. I would love to get your opinion on it. Are you for this? Are you against it? Are you a customer who's from the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe? How does these prices affect you? Like I was saying, I've been speaking to friends, some people who are like in mid-collection of Forge World stuff, and they're like, what do I do now? I was like collecting Custodes for 30k and I'm priced out of it now. What the hell do I do? Are you one of those people? Let me know in the comment section and we can have a nice healthy conversation about it. Once again, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. See you now and bye bye.